In a secluded glade, hidden from the bustling world beyond, there stood an enchanting haven surrounded by ancient willow trees. Their long, slender branches swayed gently in the breeze, whispering secrets to one another as sunlight filtered through, their leaves dappling the ground with golden patches of light. The air was alive with color and fragrance. Wildflowers bloomed abundantly, their petals shimmering like jewels under the sun's warm embrace. It was here, amidst this serene beauty, that Theo, an elderly man known for his wisdom, made his home. Theo was no ordinary elder. His weathered hands bore the marks of decades spent working with nature, each line etched into his skin, telling a story of seasons past, of harsh winters endured, vibrant springs celebrated, and quiet summers, spent reflecting on life's mysteries. To the villagers who lived nearby, Theo was revered as the wisest person in all the land. They believed his very presence carried the weight of countless lessons learned and shared, making him a living repository of wisdom. One bright morning, a young girl named Rina wandered into the glade. Her hair was a cascade of soft curls, her eyes wide with curiosity, and her movements brimming with restless energy. She paused before Theo, her nose twitching slightly as she took in his calm demeanor. "Theo!" she exclaimed excitedly. "Everyone says you're the wisest person in the whole village. Can you teach me what it means to be wise?" Theo turned his head slowly toward her, his deep-set eyes twinkling like dew-kissed leaves catching the first rays of dawn. A gentle smile spread across his face. "Ah, little Rina," he said, in a voice as soothing as the rustle of leaves. "Wisdom is not merely about knowing facts or answers. It is a deep well from which we draw understanding, not just of the world around us, but of ourselves. Wisdom comes from questioning, observing, and reflecting on the truths we uncover." Rina tilted her head, her eyebrows knitting together with interest. "But how do I begin?" she asked, her voice tinged with both eagerness and uncertainty. "Listen closely," Theo replied, gesturing for her to come nearer. His movements were deliberate, unhurried, as if every moment deserved its due attention. "Have you ever noticed how the moon changes shape throughout the month?" Rina thought for a moment, her brow furrowing in concentration. "Yes," she said finally, her hands clasping together with excitement. "It gets big and round, then smaller and thinner, and sometimes it disappears completely. Just like when I hide behind bushes to avoid bullies at school." Theo chuckled softly, the sound low and melodic. "Exactly," he said. "The moon's transformations remind us that change is an inevitable part of life. There are times when we may feel invisible, overshadowed, or even lost. But just as the moon returns to full brilliance, so too does every day bring new opportunities to shine in our own unique way." A spark of understanding lit up Rina's eyes. "So, wisdom is about recognizing the cycles of life?" she ventured. "Like how you take your time sipping tea instead of rushing through meals?" "Precisely," Theo affirmed, his voice warm with approval. "Wisdom teaches us patience, to savor the present moment rather than racing ahead blindly. But it is also about empathy. Those around you, your friends, your family, even strangers passing by, each has their own journey. When you learn to see the world through their eyes, you gain a deeper understanding of life itself." Rina's shoulders slumped slightly as she pondered this. "But how can I see through someone else's eyes, Theo? I've never been anyone but me." Theo leaned forward ever so slightly, his gaze steady and kind. "Imagine yourself walking in their shoes. What do they feel? What experiences have shaped their thoughts and actions? By stepping outside of yourself and considering their perspective, you open the door to connection and compassion." Rina's heart began to race with newfound insight. "I think I understand," she said, her voice trembling with excitement. So wisdom isn't just about knowing things, like when I memorize the best shortcuts to get home? No, my dear, Rina, Theo replied, shaking his head gently. Knowing facts is only one piece of the puzzle. True wisdom lies in using those facts to make choices that reflect kindness, courage, and honesty. It's about understanding that even the smallest action, a kind word, a helping hand, can ripple outward and affect the entire community. Rina nodded eagerly, her mind racing with possibilities. So, it's about making choices that help others? Indeed, Theo confirmed, his smile widening. Think of the times you've cared for your little brother or shared your lunch with a classmate who forgot theirs. Every act of kindness creates ripples, much like the gentle waves that form when a stone is dropped into a pond. Those ripples touch lives far beyond what you might imagine. As the sun began its slow descent below the horizon, painting the sky in breathtaking hues of orange and purple, Rina felt a profound sense of clarity wash over her. "Thank you, Theo," she said earnestly. "I'll remember your words and try to make wise choices every day." Theo's expression softened further, pride glowing in his ancient eyes. "And remember, Rina," he added, "wisdom is not a destination. It is a journey. The more questions you ask, the more you listen, and the more you reflect, the richer your path will become." With a grateful heart and a mind buzzing with thoughts, Rina walked away, feeling inspired to approach her days with curiosity and compassion. From that day forward, she became a beacon of Theo's teachings, sharing his wisdom with all her friends. Whether it was comforting a frightened child during a storm or encouraging a shy classmate to speak up, Rina embodied the lessons she had learned in the glade. The glade itself remained a sanctuary, a place where the whispers of wisdom danced, upon the leaves, waiting to spark the imagination of those willing to pause and listen. And though Theo continued to live quietly among the willows, his legacy lived on through the countless lives he had touched, ensuring that the spirit of wisdom would forever flourish in the hearts of the people who visited the Enchanted Glade.